And a very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Issues and Attitudes. My name is Jeff Owens, director at WEIU. Making his initial appearance as my new co-host this spring semester, or fall semester, is Corbin Cox.
Hello.
Welcome, Corbin. Today we're talking, now I'm going to mess this up a little bit. It's the Coles County Council on Aging. We're at the Lifespan Center where Dial-A-Ride is housed. That makes sense?
Absolutely.
All right, so I'm going to let all three of you introduce yourself. We'll go left to right from my point of view, so go ahead.
My name is Kim Edwards. I am the executive director of the Coles County Council on Aging.
My name is Bailey Taylor. I am the events coordinator in public relations.
My name is Kaycie Sanders, and I am the administrative director of Dial-A-Ride Public Transportation.
All right, well, welcome. I'm glad y'all could come in today on this this beautiful Monday here in Coles County. Let's start out with a little bit about just some generalities about what all of you do there at your place. So.
Well, thank you for having us, Jeff. So at the Lifespan Center, we have 4 main programs that we operate. We do senior information services. We do a Lifespan volunteer program. We have Dial-A-Ride public transportation, and then we have our Lifespan Center programs and activities.
Okay.
So we've been, the building, the Lifespan Center, has been there since 2008. It started out with a senior center in Charleston and a senior center in Mattoon, and Dee Braden, who is legendary in our field, brought all of that together and helped to build the Lifespan Center behind Sarah Bush.
Okay.
So just to go over a little bit of our program, so our senior information services is kind of the foundation of our agency. We do referrals. We help people sign up for benefits for older adults and individuals with disabilities. We do a program called VITA, which is volunteer income tax assistance program, and that is open to anybody in the community. They don't have to be above a certain age or a certain income. And then we also have caregiver advisory services for memory loss, Parkinson's, and relatives raising grandchildren.
Bailey or Kaycie, want to add anything?
Kaycie, talk about that, right?
So Dial-A-Ride Public Transportation is Coles County and Douglas County's public transportation program. It is not a taxi cab. In Coles County specifically, we have 2 different types of programs. The first one is our door-to-door service. That service requires the potential rider to call into our dispatch office and say, hello, my name is Jeff Owens, and I need a ride from my house to EIU, and on this day at this time. And so depending on age and how far you're traveling depends on the fare. That is our door-to-door service, also known as demand response. We also have a service that is super beneficial for a lot of EIU students, and it's called the zip line. So it's not actually the zip line where you ride down the rope.
I wish it was.
It is a service that kind of operates like a public transportation that you would see in big cities. So we have designated stops at designated times that we go along this route. The route simultaneously runs in Mattoon and Charleston at the same time. We do have a stop on EIU's campus where the Panther Shuttle picks up at the Student Union. And it's $1 to board, no reservation is required, and you can get into Mattoon for $1 or get to Walmart and Mattoon or Charleston. So it's a really beneficial service for those that kind of want to go on the fly of, not make reservations and not have to plan something out.
How many buses are there? Or how many?
So in Coles County, we have 16, and in Douglas County, we have 4.
Okay.
And where does the money for that come from? Are you guys privately funded, or is it through donations, or?
So not privately funded. We do get state grants from the state and federal government. 5311 is funding through the state, Downstate Operating Assistance Program is through the state, and 5311 is through the federal government, and so we have to write grants every year to get the funding for that. We also do accept donations, and through our grants, we have to match a certain percent. So through service contracts that we have with other not-for-profit organizations and things like that, that can be used as match. Then the donations that, if passengers want to give us donation, those can be used as match as well. We also offer advertising on our buses, so every little piece and portion kind of helps with our match, and then the rest is just the funding that we get from year to year.
Okay. I know one of the events you have coming up is Veterans Benefits Fair. That'll be in
Yeah.
the fall.
Yep. That is on November 3rd. So pretty much we're just having veterans come out, and they're more than welcome to get some more information on places around Coles County, or honestly Bloomington as well is one of the farthest that we've had sign up as a vendor. The first 50 who show up will be getting a boxed lunch. They are more than welcome to eat that there or whatnot. Pretty much they're just getting a lot of information that they may not know of. So.
And you also have a group of veterans who also do a coffee club, right?
Yep.
Talk about that.
Every second and fourth Friday we do a veterans coffee. Holy Moly sponsors that with donuts, and they all just kind of come in and they chit chat about little different things or about whenever they served. So.
That's good. I mean, and that's one of the things that always people talk about is getting veterans to talk.
Yeah.
Do you have some hints or some tips that you get them to open up, or do you just kind of let them do their thing?
They kind of just go in and do their thing. They all just know each other. They're like, sometimes if we don't have somebody show up, they're like, oh, where's he at? Like, oh, he's probably got so-and-so today. Or so they all just kind of bond with themselves. It's kind of hard trying to get them to come, but we've gotten a little bit more here lately. So.
And you have a car and bike show coming up too?
Yep.
Talk about that.
We've got that on September 9th. Registration's open. You can register day of, or you can register now. It is $20 day of, $15 early. You can purchase shirts before you the day of. We'll have 2 food trucks. We'll have 16 trophies to be giving out. The first 50 will be getting dash plaques. Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope we have a lot of people show up.
Is it motorcycles?
Yep, we got cars and we got motorcycles. We have, for the awards for the car category, we have top 3 1979 and older, top 3 1989 to 99, and then top 3 2000 to 2023. We have best interior, most likely to get pulled over. And with that one, we're supposed to be having a couple Mattoon and Charleston cops to help judge that one, so that'll be fun. We have People's Choice, and then for bikes, we have top 3 in People's Choice.
Okay, Corbin?
Is this the first time you've done that car show, or is this like an annual thing?
I'll let Kaycie take that one.
So in years past, with the Lifespan Center, each program within the Lifespan Center would actually have their own fundraiser. And so I can't remember, maybe 2018-19, Dial-A-Ride hosted a Can't Drive 55 car show. And then as we had one, and then another the second year, and then COVID hit, and that kind of changed all of our fundraising. So in the meantime, the Lifespan Center kind of said, well, let's just have 3 big fundraisers, and we can divvy up the funds in between the programs. So this year, it is a fundraiser for the entire Lifespan Center, and not just the Dial-A-Ride program.
Okay. You say you have 3 big events. What other events then will you have, either you've already had or you have as we look forward?
So we had our Glow Bingo fundraiser this last June. We have another one scheduled next April. That has been over in Mattoon at the Eagles. And then the month of July, we did a Flock of Friend fundraiser. If anybody saw the little flocks of flamingos out around Mattoon and Charleston, that was us. We ended that the end of July. So that was a fun fundraiser and really great marketing for us. So I can foresee us doing that next summer as well. And then we'll have our car show in September.
Now, on the day-to-day inside the building, I mean, you know, what goes on day-to-day in there? So you have a lot of these events, but they're not always at the Lifespan Center. So what happens like
I
that?
think the question is what doesn't
Okay.
go on inside the Lifespan
All right, what doesn't
Center.
go on?
There is just so much that goes on day to day, whether it's bingo, whether it's card players, or we have a bunch of exercise classes. So we have Zumba, we have chair yoga, Tai Chi, Qigong, and those are a really big hit.
Line dancing.
We have line dancing. Everyone loves the line dancing, it seems like. We have... We have a movie theater downstairs.
Wow.
We do that on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We don't get a whole lot of people that show up for that, and I think it's just because it's summertime right now and everybody would rather be outside. But we have a lot that goes on day to day.
We do a lot of community education programs too. So we host Dine with the Doc. We have a lunch with the lawyer. community education
Yeah.
series. So we really try to get the community in for educational programs, and we partner a lot with Sarah Bush and EIU for those programs.
How many people work out there?
We have 11 staff members inside the Lifespan building. We have 3 dispatchers in the Dial Ride building, and then how many drivers do we have, Kaycie?
I think we have 20 combined with Coles and Douglas.
Drivers.
Okay, so it's a pretty big operation.
Yeah.
Well, then, Kim, since you came today, and you how do you motivate your staff and just to keep up the energy level and the good work?
Well, the nice thing about that is, so I've been in this position a little less than a year, and one of the first things I noticed about this team is they're very passionate about their work and about their job, and they don't require a lot of motivation from me. They actually teach me a lot and keep me motivated and going, but I trust all of them with their jobs. And like I said, they have that passion for what they do, so they don't need a lot of motivating.
Now, would you two agree?
Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
absolutely.
Out of all the jobs I've had, she's probably one of the best leaders that I've had.
Oh, baby.
She's very motivated in her position as well. So,
Could you give an example of a way she motivates your staff or either of you to work hard?
Well, I know sometimes if we ask nicely, she'll let us go on Fridays like 30 or 45 minutes early, very randomly, but that's a good motivation.
that's one, yeah.
Corby, you have anything on your mind over there?
You talked a lot about like your community education programs, like the Dine with a Doc and that. Is there like pie in the sky one program you'd like to have to expand to?
Ooh, good question.
Oh, that is a good question. Well, I can tell you, we do have a program that we're trying to bring to the Lifespan Center. I'm hoping we can by next summer. I don't want to get into too many details, but it's going to involve our volunteer program. So we used to have a huge volunteer program prior to COVID, and we were closed for about 2 years during COVID, and so our volunteer program took a big hit during that time. So we're trying to bring the program back to where the Lifespan Center is kind of a volunteer hub. And so we have been talking to an organization out of Missouri for a program that we're trying to bring into the Lifespan Center for the volunteers.
And if anyone is looking to volunteer, like who would they get in contact with?
They would contact Chris Roberts. They're at the Lifespan Center at 217-639-5150.
Cool. Is there a favorite part of your job, each of you? Well, we'll just go down the line. Is there a favorite part of your job, like you just can't wait till this day happens or this event?
Well, I think there's parts of every day that are my favorite parts, but I can tell you this. We experienced quite a huge flood in our building last December. It affected all 3 floors of our building, and so almost my whole time with the agency, I've been dealing with that. So I'm really looking forward to that one day where I can close that file and move on.
Okay, I'm going to ask 3 floors. So
3
it must
floors.
have started at the top, then worked down.
We had an issue on the 2nd floor,
Yeah.
and then we had a separate issue on the main floor, and then they all trickled down into the basement.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
So, Bailey, favorite part of your job?
Honestly, since April, it's been Food Truck Friday. I'll be honest. we have had a lot of different food trucks come out. I'll be honest. My favorite was probably Saucy Swine Barbecue. They just started, and I'll just admit it, their pulled pork nachos were amazing. They put queso on it, and it changed the whole pulled pork nachos.
She's
setting
been talking
of it.
about this queso for weeks.
But other than that, I love coming to work. I express to my family all the time, I love my job, and a lot of my Facebook friends know that too. I post about it a lot, but just having a really great team just helps a lot. So,
Kaycie, favorite time?
I would agree with her. I really like the camaraderie amongst ourselves. We spend more time with our coworkers than we do our actually family members, and it's also a nice little break to get away from our young children, those of us that have young children. But I think that my favorite event or favorite thing about the job is the annual holiday luncheon that we host every December. Myself and my coworker Sierra Maluzzo have put that on the last couple of years. And just the fun and bringing all the people in and serving them Niemergs, which is a very good holiday meal, and bringing joy to people's faces. A lot of seniors are at home and don't get out very often, kind of isolated. So to have an event for them specifically to come and have a good time and listen to music and laugh and have that fellowship makes me really proud to be a part of the agency.
Reading through your website and things, like one of the things your goals are is to make older adults more active. You know, is that kind of part of the mission there? And
absolutely.
And is there any other things you do to make that happen?
That is definitely part of our mission. And the good thing about our agency versus, maybe some of the surrounding counties is we do have the Dial-A-Ride program that is part of us. So, if an older adult or, an individual with disabilities has issues getting out of their home and engaging in the community and participating in events, we can help accommodate that with transportation as well.
Okay. Would either of you like to talk about that, about just active adults and getting them out there and seeing them smile and do things?
The bigger events that we have, bingo is one of them. They all love to come play bingo. It is insane. That one has actually grown. Whenever I first started, we were up in the auditorium, and now it's down in room B because it's just gotten so big. So that's probably one of my
We also do a class called Sierra's Crafting Corner every month, and our fiscal director, Sierra Maluzzo, puts that on, and she's very artsy-fartsy, and it's always a max participation. So
yeah,
that is
Hilltop
something they
sponsors that for us, so they supply all the supplies we need for it. So it's really nice for them to letting it make it happen
cool.
and stuff.
I don't have anything.
That's okay.
I apologize.
No. When you said Hilltop like that, do you work with other community partners
Yes.
to try to do events and put on events? Is there any of those you'd like to talk about? Because I think that's one of the things that makes Coles County so cool. Everybody works together on so many different events.
Hilltop sponsors our crafting class. Actually, Sarah Bush Hospice just reached out, so they'll be sponsoring one in October. I believe it's on the 10th. They'll just be doing like a little flower box. Bingo is sponsored by Charleston Rehab, Arbor Rose, Always Home Care in Mattoon, Copper Creek, Oddfellow.
Villas of Hollybrook.
Yeah, no.
Did you say that?
No.
Now, are you looking for any? I know Corbin asked about volunteers. Is there any job openings out there right now, or anything you're looking for as well as directors or events or anything?
We do. We have 3 job openings. So we have for Dial-A-Ride, we have an operation director position that just became opened. And then in our senior information services, we have a full-time position and a part-time position opened. The part-time position, we are looking for somebody a little tech savvy. We started a program called Reducing Social Isolation and Loneliness. And so within that program, we're looking for an individual that can go into their homes and install Amazon Echo Show devices. And that way we can virtually communicate with some of the older adults in our community that maybe can't get out of their home, or they're feeling a little bit of anxiety since COVID and don't really want to be around large crowds.
Is it harder also maybe to get the older adults to be more tech savvy?
Yes.
I know. So do you have anything that kind of involves them to get them
We
to
do a
use an iPad or
class
something?
called
Wireless Made Simple.
Yes.
Before summer hit, I had a few of Eastern volunteers to come out and serve a couple hours and help them with that. Honestly, if they ever come in, if we have anybody come in and ask, I can't really figure this out on my phone, I'm more than willing to help them. It really just depends on how kind of deep into tech savvy it is, because things are growing now, and sometimes I don't have an answer, but yeah. So
I think you two would be the ones I would. The younger the better when it comes to
Well,
tech.
and also a lot of a lot of the benefits that older adults can sign up for, like Social Security and Medicare, a lot of those are done online these days, instead of through the mail or in person. And so it is a challenge for older adults to be able to get online and do those things for themselves. So, that's one of the things that our senior information services help with is, they can navigate those websites a little easier.
Does the Senior Information Services have like a database they send people regular mail and so that the older adults can get this information? How do you do that?
We have several databases and softwares we use for depending on the service that they're needing. We can do appointments over the phone. We can do them virtually with the Amazon Echo Show devices. We can do them in person, but we kind of do the legwork for them if they're having some troubles getting in touch with the right referral agency.
We're talking to the Coles County Council on Aging / Lifespan Center / Dial-A-Ride folks today. They are in, and we have about 7 or 8 minutes left. Corbin, do you have something over there?
Yeah, so you talked about like setting up technology with older people, and that was something I wouldn't think about. Has there been like a challenge for older folks or those that like you help that's been kind of surprising to you, like open to a new perspective?
I will tell you, with the Reducing Social Isolation project that we're doing, it's been two-sided. There has been some people that aren't very receptive to it. A lot of older adults think those devices are used and the government's listening to us and people are spying on them. So there has been that challenge. But for the most part, they love the devices. We teach them how to use the basic concepts of them first. And a lot of them listen to music or, ask it what the weather's going to be like. So we're getting really good feedback on the devices. It's just a part of, I think you have to start small and just teach the basic concepts. And then once they get those down, just go a little further.
Right.
Good question, by the way, Corbin. Other challenges that you see coming up in the next year or so? Is it technology? Is it information? Or what do you think are the things that you're looking forward to? How we're going to stop this, or how we're going to overcome something?
Well, I think I can speak probably for everybody in our programs that one of the biggest challenges we always have, and I think this just goes with the nonprofit territory, is always funding, especially with inflation. Sometimes people aren't able to give as much as they have in the past. We are an agency that operates a lot from local funding, whether it's donors, sponsorships for our events, funding from businesses or townships. So, that is one thing that we have seen a little bit of kind of drop a little bit. Do you guys have anything else as far as challenges?
Dial-A-Ride has had this ongoing challenge since 1991. A lot of people think that we are the senior bus because we are affiliated with the Coles County Council on Aging Lifespan Center. But we are public transportation, all ages, all abilities. Our vehicles have lifts to help people that, require certain mobility devices. It's for students, it's for young children, it's for senior citizens. You can take it to go get your hair done. You can take it to get a medical appointment. You can take it to the grocery store. So that's kind of the biggest challenge within Dial-A-Ride, and always has been.
Yeah, you've taught me a couple things that I didn't know for sure about. I knew the Eastern students, but I didn't know it was available only to the public like that, and so they could call.
It's for any and all.
There you go. Are you open to public ideas if someone had a great idea for whether it's a fundraiser, an event, something for adults? And is that process just to call you or to call anybody or
Sure,
to bring
absolutely.
the idea out?
We're always open to ideas. We're kind of an agency, and this is what I love about some of the people that I work with is we're kind of a go big or go home. So, when somebody comes up with an idea or wants to run with something, we're like, okay, let's make it big. But we're always open for ideas from the public. They could call me or any of us at the building and leave a message, or we can call them back. They wouldn't have to talk to me directly, but absolutely, we are open to any ideas on programs we can offer, or if they just want information about our agency.
Because I noticed your calendar of events for like the month of September it's just packed. I mean,
It's
every day.
packed.
So
Yeah.
And
it's-
we have these connections that we print out every month and try to distribute them throughout the whole county. But some people still don't know where to find them. So, Bailey, where do we take them to?
Well, Charleston, we added Starbucks on there. We added Lincoln Garden. We have Jackson Avenue Coffee on there. Villas of Hollybrook.
The library.
Library, Kogel. What's that one? Oh gosh, I don't know. Mattoon, we have the mall, we have the library, we have the Y. The Y is a big hit for our connections. They're always running out there. We have a lot of the senior centers over there, so like, I'm drawing a brain fart. Oh gosh.
it's all right. They're available.
They're available.
They're just,
Yeah.
they're everywhere, honestly.
And are they're on our website?
They're on our for the most part, they're on our website. We haven't figured that out completely since the Google Drive is too big. But I always email them. So if you want on our email list, you can always let us know. You can call us. That's kind of a big one. We send out over 400 through email, and we print out over 600 to 700 a month.
There you go.
So.
We have a couple minutes left. Corbin, you have one last question for you?
Yeah, so you talked about donors and sponsorships being like a big part of how you do all these things. Who would they go through to donate? Like any business who wants to sponsor or anyone who just wants to give money in general?
Well, I always think if they want to advertise their business, I would say get in contact with Kaycie because she is the one that will talk to them about advertisement on the buses. If they're wanting to donate, they can either contact myself, Kim Edwards, the director, or they can contact Sierra Maluzzo, our fiscal director.
There you go.
You can also donate online. We have a little box on there that you can donate on there. So.
All right. We have about a minute left, so we'll do some world famous, unrelated questions. I know you're all excited about it,
I
right?
am excited about this.
What state would you like to visit? We'll just go down the line.
Washington State.
Oregon.
Maine.
Oh, I get to answer too.
What about-
California.
Okay. Food you cannot stand.
Livers and onions.
Sushi.
Tomatoes.
Also tomatoes.
Favorite sports team?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Illini football.
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
All right. Movie you think is overrated? You know, everybody talks about a movie, but you think it's overrated.
Oh, skip me. Come back to me.
Hey, Haley?
I'm going to say the Barbie movie. I haven't seen it yet, but I want to. So.
The Anchorman.
I don't like The Godfather.
There you go. Do you have a hobby?
I have too many kids to have a hobby.
All right.
Golfing and boating.
I'm Mom.
I'm here.
Most famous person you've ever met?
Albert Pujols.
Craig Campbell or Bobby Pierce. I don't know.
Allison Krauss.
I don't think I've met a famous person. Maybe you. Or Kelly.
Well, thank you all for coming in today.
Well,
Thank you for having us.
And thanks for sending in those pictures, Bailey. Y'all have a great day. If you have any information, just, Google Coles County Council on Aging or Lifespan Center. Everybody have a great day. We are WEIU.